Well, I think the foundational accounting skills are obviously really important to any job in finance and accounting. Knowing that very well allows you to understand system output and assess the system better, right? Because you know what the right answer should be, and then you can get to know the system better. The other thing that is really important, I think, not just with technology, but communication in general, right? You have to be able to really know the numbers, understand the numbers, and tell the story. And if you don't really know them and you don't really understand them, then you can't tell the story, and then you're not helping anyone, right? So understanding that, like, the basics and being confident in the basics is what lets you use technology, talk to people, advance, etc. So KPMG and Goldman Sachs obviously are huge companies, public style, like lots of rigor with the PCAOB, et cetera. Audits obviously are critically important. So very risk averse, very process oriented, a lot of controls. So when I look at new processes at smaller companies that I work for now and I've worked for since then, I'm always looking at it with the lens of, well, what if this company becomes big? We should be designing a process that conforms to public company standards, that has checks and balances, that has approvals. To the extent we can automate those, let's automate them, rather than kind of doing everything on the fly, right? A lot of smaller companies are rush, let's get revenue on the books, let's get this product to market, whatever that is, let's open a new store. But if you don't have those checks and balances in place and create that system, things can get out of control really quickly. So back to the communication thing, right? So really needing to understand those basics to explain them to people. But one of the main things that I see from non-finance, non-accounting people is as simple as cash versus accrual accounting. So people will come to me and say, well, I wrote in the contract that we were going to collect $100,000 up front. And it's like, well, unless you do the work to recognize the revenue, the cash is meaningless. It just is sitting there as an asset. You don't get to take that revenue. So cash versus accrual accounting is a concept that a lot of people have never heard of. So it's something that I find myself explaining over and over and over again. Another one is the importance of period closes, right? Quarter end, year end, making sure that people understand the importance of reporting everything at those times. And then as far as budgeting, forecasting, every company has different rigor around how important their budget is, how closely they are held to it, how often they reforecast. So again, communication, right? Making sure that all of the stakeholders, business leaders, management, and up really know that, hey, if I hear about this thing from somebody on my team, I have to escalate that so that we can get it in the budget, so that we know that it's coming, so no one's surprised. Well, being an enabler of growth is so much more fun than being a controller of cost, right? Controller of cost are the bad guys, right? You're the ones saying, no, you can't do that, more often than not. A fun way to get into being an enabler of growth is working with sales, looking at pricing new products, looking at how should we price a renewal. You get to hear really interesting stories about your clients, right? These names that you see when you're looking at, where's the revenue coming from? Where's the billing coming from? It's like, oh yeah, I've seen that name for 10 years and now I'm hearing what this client's real experience is. So it's a little more fun than just saying, no, you can't buy that thing. The other way is kind of on the cost side, figuring out, working within the parameters of what you know about the company and what's important and what are the priorities. How can you fund things that will provide advancement? How can you fund dev, for example? You hear about an opportunity, a client really wants a product. Well, how can we funnel money from, back office operation? Like, do we really need that extra lease in this? Like, is anybody really using that office? Or could we cancel that lease, hire 3 new dev people, build this product, make the client happy, and bring in more revenue? So working within the confines of what you have in the budget, getting creative, is the fun way of dealing with cost, and working with sales is just really interesting and fun. Well, I think every company's different, right? And every company's level of technological adoption is different, right? So hopefully people are lucky enough to work in companies where management is open to replacing outdated technology. What it does is just allow you to exercise those creative juices, right? So the last question about how can we be enablers of growth rather than controllers of cost, like if you're spending all of your time having to pull data from a million different sources manually to create a report, you don't get to stop and talk to the head of R&D about what they need to help advance the company. So as you're using more advanced technology like Power Dashboards, where you have data at your fingertips, like you create a report once and it's constantly refreshable, easy sort of budget to actuals, monthly results, kind of exec dashboards, rather than pulling those together over a course of 3, 4, 5 days from different places, it's a push button. So you get to spend all that extra time doing the fun stuff. So it starts with the communication and those foundational finance and accounting principles, making sure everyone understands a few of those basics. And from there, it's the storytelling. It's the real world examples, trying to translate financial concepts into something that people can understand in their daily lives. And then from there, when you're making decisions, right, when you're doing the fun part, right, when you're trying to work on advancing things rather than just cost controlling, talking about things through trade-offs. Like, if you do this, then this is what will happen, or we could do this and this is what it's going to do to it. And being able to show examples of different scenarios so people understand the cause and effect of various decisions that they make helps people to grasp the concepts in general. I think a lot of it is detailed knowledge, right? So you can report the numbers and have a big variance and say, well, I don't know, you guys came in light, right? Or you can dig in and get into the details and say, yeah, we thought these 3 customers were going to go live and they didn't. So that's why we're late on revenue. Or, hey, you were supposed to hire 3 people this quarter and you didn't hire them. So great, you saved a ton of money and you came in under budget. But you can't get there if you don't spend the time digging in to the numbers. And then it translates for people, right? You sit on a review call and you say, well, you're late and I don't know. That doesn't help people. If you say you're late and it's because these 3 customers didn't go live, then people leave with an actionable item to go make sure this happens so that the next time they're looking at their report, they're seeing the revenue from those customers.
USA to a media company CFO role, how do expectations, around speed, risk, and insight change?
Well, I think what I found in the course of my career, big company, small company, is the bigger the company, sort of the slower the movement, right? The just sheer number of people that need to get on board with a decision, the layers of review and complexity, depending on, again, whether the company's publicly traded or what kind of other standards they're held to. So technology is always changing, advancing, et cetera. Of course, every finance professional should be proficient in Excel, right? That's just working with numbers and being able to manipulate it. But if you can get your hands in a financial system, if that's incorporated with your learning before you come in, that gives you a huge leg up just to understand how financial systems work. AI is still emerging, right? It's not something that is widely adopted, especially in finance and accounting, because of audit risk, controls risk, etc. But understanding what AI is, like what is an LLM, understanding data sensitivity and your responsibilities as a steward of data and what you can put out there and what you can't put out there is really important, because it's not going to be okay to put people's personally identifiable information like their salaries into a chat GPT to come up with a report if you don't have a secure environment with licenses. because it's people's personal information, right? So understanding what you can and can't do with AI. And then once you've understood that, thinking about how AI could just help you work faster, right? Instead of you manually pulling 6 reports together to make one thing, the system can do it for you, right? The system can generate something, and then from there, understanding how to prompt, right? And that kind of comes with just using it, like figuring out the detailed things to tell AI systems to have them generate the thing that you actually need. So I would say there's always something you don't know, right? So the company is moving and there are different people moving in all different directions at all different speeds. There's no way for you to be on top of all of it. So being open to hearing those things and don't close your box, right? Make sure that you're an approachable person who people are going to come and tell about whatever they're doing, because you need to know, you want to get it into forecast. You want to make sure people are accounting for it properly, all of that. Partnering with people, right? Partnering with people to help them get to what they need. Help that R&D leader get those 3 extra people to build that product. If you're not working with them to get that stuff done, they're not going to view you as valuable as they would the person who does sit down with them and say, hey, what do you really need? And how are we going to figure out how to get it? Can we get it now? Can we get it in 6 months, 3 years, whatever it is? At least you're working with them.